So, you see all this influence in a tiny little town, which is absolutely fascinating even for me I'm from Fort Kochi. So for me, it's something I'm really proud of, that we have 13 different communities living in the Matanjeri area. We have 3 European countries who lived here, influenced the people, changed a lot of things. So I think Fort Kochi has a very, very special identity because of that. Yeah.
It is difficult to pinpoint where the center of Kochi actually lies. Is it the multicultural Mathincheri area that has the Jews, Gujaratis, Muslims and other communities packed together? Or the more European-looking Fort Kochi with its cathedral and Portuguese architecture? Or the Ernakulam city? Or perhaps this, Thoppampudi, where we stayed for 10 days in the scorching heat and humidity that only comes close to the days of summer in the Middle East? Food, you ask? Yes, plenty of local goodies. Parotta. Everyone flips these Malabar beauties on a hot tawa, and which is a staple order along with some hot chicken, beef or egg curry. For vegetarians, a lot of tapioca dishes and a variety of chickpeas too. The market of Thoppampudi has a series of cafe and street side food carts, and where almost all of them serve traditional put and appams. But what is somewhat of a novelty is this, Kothu Parotta. A mashup of broken parotta, a couple of eggs, onion, tomato, chili, curd leaves and beef.
Kashi was born in 1997, and it started as a little cafe in sleepy Fort Kochi. And Fort Kochi is not what you see, what it is today. It was very different at that time. And once Fort Kochi started, becoming a place where people want to visit, things started changing, and Kashi started kind of growing with Kochi. I mean, it was like that. And now we have a lot of our own people, the locals coming in, the younger generations picking up to the cafe culture, which we really didn't have in Kerala at that time, but now we do.
Kashi Art Cafe or simply Kashi. More than a cafe, is an intersection of classic cafe food and space for arts. Opened in 1997, Kashi has now matured along with Fort Kochi from a trade port to a proper tourist destination. Tanya Ibrahim, a Fort Kochi resident and the owner of Kashi, has also written and published a book on the untold stories of Fort Kochi. All the food that you're serving here, is it locally sourced or how is it?
Everything's locally sourced. We have all the vegetables are pesticide free. So sometimes we might not have a tomato that's looking absolutely fantastic, but we can tell you it's good for your health. And we're going to soon be displaying them outside, at Kashi, when people can come and see the kind of vegetables we're sourcing. The seafood's all from the nets down the road. The grains that we use are all organic, and even for the breads, the grains we use are organic. So yeah, we try to keep it as fresh and clean as possible. We don't serve aerated drinks. We don't serve anything in plastic. Those are things which has been a part of Kashi's philosophy and ideology for a very long time.
Okay, hold. Good job. Oh, hey jala, hey jala, home by, hey jala, home by, hey jala, home by, hey jala, home by, hey jala, hey jala, hey jala, hey jala, hey jala.
Let's see what we have in our catch. इतना मेहनत करके जो फिशिंग की है. Nice. So that's our catch. ये वाला कौन? हाँ.
This one Kitex.
Kit?
Kitex.
Kites.
That one jellyfish.
Nice.
It was probably about 30 years or 25 years after Indian independence, 30 odd years. So things were still very, the patriotism was still there. There was a certain beauty in the way things existed. And my grandparents and my grand-uncle and everybody was very deeply involved in the running of the town. And everything was meant to be, for the town. Whatever we had or whatever our family used to possess was ultimately it was for the good of the town. That was how we were brought up, and probably that's why I have this deep affinity to the place. And
so when you say town, it's Fort Kochi?
It's Fort Kochi, yes. Still a little sleepy little town in my head.
Kochi is made up of islands. You can hop from one to another using the waterways. Or if you take the waterways from the tip of Fort Kochi to the next island known as Vypin, you can laze around on its vast and lonely beach. Or if you can, and you should perhaps come to this, Matsafed brackish fish farm. Pay $100, rent a tiny boat, paddle hard, and wait. And hope that you will catch at least one medium-sized fish in the next 1 hour.
Yeah, nowadays, even people who are not drinking toddy, this beer from coconut, they prefer to go and have food from there. It is much tastier, much more spicy, and this kind of variety things you will get. Mostly in Alleppey side, you will find more toddies.
If you like your lunch traditional and with a bottle of toddy, then you should drive down to Mullapanthal Toddy Shop at Udayam, Peru. That does two things and two things only. One, serving the common man backwater coconut beverage aka toddy, and two, making some mean and spicy Kerala dishes like these. Banana leaf wrapped pearlfish preparation curry mein polichid. A slow-cooked mean thala curry, which is essentially a tangy gravy dish made from sear fish head, and popular Kerala kappa masala made from tapioca. And while you're at it, don't be surprised to find frog legs, rabbit, and some more uncommon meat. All this and more served with zero decor, maximum flavors, and gloriously washed down with some white fermented liquid.
Around this past 1 week over here, Mathincheri area especially, if you see, it's a nice mix of different religion also.
Yeah, different religion and people.
Multiple, may not, I'm just saying one or two religion, but there are at least 5 or 6.
More than that.
Yeah.
More than that.
Living in.
And the language also, which they are used in within few square kilometer. It is really, but the authentic tourism promoters, they don't know. They know, but they are kind of sleeping. They don't know to promote this way. What we have. So it should be much better for Kochi if we promote and we focused on it, the culture, which exist still now in Mathincheri and Fort Kochi. That would be much better for tourism. And what I know, nowadays even foreigners also staying only 2-3 nights in Kochi. Before it was not like that. We have a lot of environmentalists and activists and artists, so they have a much more chance to mingle with the people, real things, instead of touristic things, you know. So they stay long here also. There is many things to do for them also, instead to see some synagogue or like that. This kind of monuments which can start in the morning and end of evening, you can finish to see these things. Instead of that, there are many things happening on those times.
Housewarming pujas are more than a half-day affair here. We are lucky enough to be part of a cruise family Ganpati Homam, which is performed to beget happiness, good luck and good health. This puja is usually followed by a sadhya meal, which is a traditional Keralite meal served on a banana leaf. That goes from pickle to papadam, avial to sambar, boiled rice to pachadi, and concludes with some thick coconut and jaggery paisam.
For me, Kochi is me. I mean, it's part of who I am. I don't think I would have. I went to school here. I grew up here, and I think Kochi has a very distinct sense of its own presence, and it also has a very distinct ability to allow somebody to feel like they belong to a particular town or city. You might have a lot of, you might say, oh, it's not as developed as a Bombay or a Delhi. People are very close-minded, but then you kind of come back. You kind of come back to Cochin for some reason, and I think it's probably the beauty, the mix of cultures which have been here for centuries. It's not like a city where people have gone there for the last 50 years. You're talking about hundreds and hundreds of years. Yeah, there's a kind of feeling that which I have not seen in any other part of the world. I mean, I travel quite a bit, but I come back. Yeah, I always come back. It's home. Cochin's home. Yeah.
How do you define a place when roughly every 10 kilometers the landscape changes? Sometimes an island with secluded beach, sometimes a Portuguese colony, sometimes forest, sometimes canal with houseboat, and sometimes packed with life in an uncleansed state. Hauntingly beautiful, otherworldly, just like God's own country.